is big business.
A lot of people don't realise the demand.
Meet Charlotte Bosanquet.
700 square metres of the property was filled with rubbish all the way up to about our waist.
She's the 22-year-old businesswoman and TikTok sensation. Taking cleaning to a whole new level, tackling mountains like this.
So we wear a hazmat into every home. We also wear shoe covers, gloves and a really good quality mask that filters out the air. We had to rip up some carpet for a client once and we found a queen valued at $40,000.
But as you can imagine, some finds aren't as welcome.
There's about 10 dead rats in a room.
The Sydney-based Hoarder Helper has amassed more than 243,000 followers online in just 3 years.
People really love to see the transformations.
Charlotte dropped out of her criminology degree to suit up full-time.
When I started out as a broke uni student, I never thought in a million years that I could grow the business to a team of 10 people.
She takes on big jobs that can be weeks of hard yakka.
Sometimes we need to work room by room.
And doesn't shy away from the messy stuff either.
Sometimes you don't just go in and throw everything away. So that's encouraged a lot of people to reach out to me because they understand that the team isn't judgmental.
Charlotte's had hundreds of calls for help in Sydney alone. This property in Melbourne's north is right across the road from a primary school and has become so overwhelmed the resident lives in a tent in the front yard.
It gets windy and like all the rubbish blows over.
It's been that way since my son was here and my son's 20.
Charlotte says for every property that looks like this, many more keep the secret hidden inside.
Their next door neighbour, their yard could look absolutely perfect and in great condition, but then behind closed doors, there could be piles of rubbish all the way up to the ceilings.
She says it's so much more than spraying and scrubbing, juggling the deep psychological ties to hoarding.
Often it can be really emotional.
Clinical psychologist of 25 years, Dr. Vanda Brink.
Whether they've come from a time in their life of emotional deprivation or poverty where they have been blindsided or fearful of not having enough in life, and so holding on to possessions and items often gives people who are hoarders a really strong sense of security.
Dr. Brink says the disorder often begins with a what-if mindset.
What if one day? And so that anxiety of one day not being able to have something that what if they need it really drives the behaviour to hold on to items that they don't need. Even people with ADHD can be vulnerable to hoarding because they get overwhelmed in sorting out their things.
If the inside's as bad as the outside, there certainly is a health issue.
Hume's former deputy mayor and councillor of 17 years, Jack Medcraft, says often councils can't do much.
I mean, if it breaches the health regulations or building regulations, then council can act. But you can't go in there and clean it because it's the DHS house.
We need to respect their boundaries and go at their own pace, and getting to see the client's reaction when we've completed a clean. There's nothing that will be able to replace that feeling of knowing that we've been able to make a difference in someone's life.